Hi, welcome. Today we're looking at a parable from the book of Matthew, chapter 25, the parable of the wise and foolish maidens. Now the way of man is the design and fulfillment. When we want to build a house, we make the design of the house. Then we build the house according to the design. When the house is completed, it becomes the fulfillment. The way of God is the same, the design and fulfillment. And today Jesus has spoken to us in parable, and this parable given to us as a design. Every parable is a design. Today we're looking at this particular one. The fulfillment, the spiritual meaning behind is the fulfillment. And so first we are going to read it and we shall look at the fulfillment. The kingdom of heaven shall be compared to 10 maidens who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish, and 5 were wise. For when the foolish took their lamps, they took no oil with them. But the wise took flasks of oil with their lamps. As the bridegroom was delayed, they all slumbered and slept. But at midnight there was a cry, "Behold, the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all those maidens rose and trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the wise replied, "Perhaps there will not be enough for us and for you. Go rather to the dealers and buy for yourselves." And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was shut. Afterward, the other maidens came also, saying, "Lord, Lord, open to us." But he replied, "Truly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch, therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour." Jesus definitely wants to teach us a lesson using this parable, and he particularly using the lamb and the oil, and sort of half of the group is wise, half is foolish. So we need to examine ourselves and asking question if we are belonging to the wise group or the foolish group. And the wise has, oil as well as lamb. So they had two things. And today we will examine what representing oil, what representing lamb. So the way of God is design and fulfillment. So God has given us life. Physical life is the design. Spiritual life is the fulfillment. Now, in order to keep our physical life going, we need to have a routine of, eating, of exercising, and drinking water. To keep us alive, we need food, we need nutrition, we need water. And to maintain it well, to do it well, we need to have exercise, routine. And so in our life, people spend so much time and energy looking after the physical life. So people have a routine, for going to gym, drinking supplements, have rest day, and people eat nutritious food, balancing it with carb, protein, and vegetables. So people do all kind of things to maintain their physical life, to keep it going. Because the fact is, if we go without food for certain days, we will die. And so some people survive with water, for a few days, certain days, but of course it's not going to last long. So it's the same thing without spiritual life. What Jesus is saying is the lamb is representing our faith, and the oil is representing the works that we do for our faith to keep it going. And the two things go together. And so the faith can just die without the oil. Certain time when you are burning the I grew up with that type of lamp where there's little oil underneath, and the wick go up and you burn that, and if it run out of oil, eventually the lamp would just the fire would just die. What Jesus is teaching us is spiritual life, being spiritually alive, need maintaining, just like the way we are maintaining our physical life, food, exercise, water. So with the spiritual, it needs maintaining. So what we need to ask, what is oil representing? So oil is what God teach us in the Bible, that is to pray constantly, and to fast. The Bible teaches us to be compassionate to others in the parable of the Good Samaritan, to treat others, human beings, like Jesus himself. That is the Matthew chapter 25. The sheep and the goat, when we're treating others, vulnerable people, like the way we treat Jesus, then Jesus accepts that. And so the Bible teaching us to do all that, then we need to do it to maintain our faith, to keep it going, to persevering it, to be. And if we don't do anything at all for a certain amount of time, our faith will die. It not die initially, immediately. Just like now, if I go one day without food, I'm not going to die immediately. But eventually I will die if I go many days without food. So spiritually, our spiritual life also need the same thing, maintaining, need a bit of work, a bit of doing. And that doing is all written in the Bible. Jesus teaching us so much, especially the Good Samaritan parable, that we need to do. But I'm just sharing you with one verse here from Mark chapter 13. Watch therefore, for you do not know when the master of the house will come, in the evening, or at midnight, or at cockcrow, or in the morning, lest he come suddenly and find you asleep. The point here Jesus is trying to make is that we don't know when the time comes, and we don't want ourselves to be asleep. We don't want to be sleeping. So that what it means is we don't want our faith to be dead. We want our faith to be alive when Christ comes. There are many more teaching in the Bible regarding keeping our faith alive. I'm sure there are a lot more verses, but this parable is enough for us. We don't need a lot of verses. It's simply saying that we don't know when Christ comes. We don't know when that moment, because that moment when we have to meet with Christ and give account of our life, we don't know, because we could have a heart attack and die during the night. And first, we don't know. Secondly, we need to maintain the lamp and the oil to keep both things going. So maintain spiritual life with works, that is prayer, fasting, doing compassionate works to others, loving God. That is important to keep our spiritual life alive, to keep it going until the end of time, until that we are no longer physically alive. So keep persevering. It needs time. It needs effort, a little bit of effort, just like we need to look after our physical life. So basically, the point I would like to make is faith is the lamp, oil is the works that teaching us what to have to do from the Bible teaching us. And we need to have two things together. Just like physical life, we have to maintain and look after it by feeding it with food. If we only understand and know that, eating give us nutrition and also give us energy, but if we're not actually doing it, then our body will have nothing. So we have to actually eat the food and drink the water. So spiritually, we also have to actually doing the work of compassionate, actually spend time in prayer, actually doing the parable of the Good Samaritan. So thank you for joining me today.